All right, let's start. All of my people, you are listening to the Voice of Reason right here at Campus of Performing Arts, JHB. Bafwethu, you know how we do this. We're riding it at 180 kilometers speed per hour. Mchana, you don't want to be left behind. Yes. Like people back in Bafwethu. Yeah, man. I have one of the amazing vocalist teachers I've ever had. Yeah, we're about to dissect and chill and try to understand Mr. Andrew as an artist and all the works that he has done. Sir, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? How about?
I am super. So it says here, Andrew Massey is a well-respected singer in South African music industry. He studied voice from a young age, singing in the Drakensberg Boys Choir. That's right. After matriculating, you went on to study music at a technical. That's not all. It also says that Andrew, the Drews, has been actively involved in music education since 2001 in China, lecturing at a technical in Pretoria as well as campus of performing arts.
This is true.
And then it also goes on to say he is one of the founding members of the rock group Grip. Right?
Yes.
Which has been featured on 5FM Unearthed CD in 2001. Right? It also says that he also fronts the Well South of what?
Well sought after.
Okay, yeah. It also says that you're gonna have to excuse my tongue. I am quite nervous because I've never done this before with a person of this stature. You see, today we're chilling with
Oh please.
We're chilling with people of high categories, Bafwethu. Yeah, man. He also fronts the well sought after jazz quartet, jazz company. That's the band, right, sir?
That is right. Yes.
Yes, which is currently very active in the corporate music scene and has performed for many high-profile companies in Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. Baba.
Correct.
Yebo Baba. Yebo Baba. Let's get to know you, sir. Please, we are students. We see you in and out every day. We see you teach. We see you mingle with us. And we hear you sing every day on Fridays at the LPW. You literally slay us first and say this is what you need to do. So what we'd like to know is your music education. Can you please elaborate and tell us the importance, of one as a singer or a vocalist to actually even think about the education?
Okay. Well, my education started very young.
Sure.
I was first part of the Kimberley Children's Choir.
Sure.
When I was growing up in Kimberley, and then obviously the Drakensberg Boys Choir came to town and they wanted to audition folk, and I actually I was at the show.
Fresh.
And afterwards they say anyone who wants to audition come through. And I actually just slipped away from my mom. She was looking for me. She didn't even know where I was. I went and auditioned without her knowing. I went and did that. And those first two choirs that I was a part of were the grounding years that I had in music.
So you started off in a choir?
Pretty much, yeah.
Fresh.
But also, I mean, once you're in that mode of choir, you have to take on a whole bunch of other things and learn the theory of music and learn, solo singing, etc., etc. And those grounding years were the biggest thing for me. So I mean, education at a young age for music, for me, is very important.
Very important.
Obviously, you're never too old to learn, but that was the biggie for me, those few years.
All right. So now, you've done the education.
Yeah.
A lot of our students, some that have left are like, now that I have the theory, I don't know how to apply it. And others are debating that, hey man, if you're a vocalist, you don't need to have it on paper, bruh. This is natural. I know, I also thought like that. But now, from someone from your side, I'd like you to just elaborate more on the education and actually try to tell us how has that education helped you thus far.
Okay. The biggest thing about singers in general is that they think they can ride on their charm all along. Like, I can sing. I'm good. All right? Everyone can sing.
Sure.
Everyone on the planet, I believe, can sing.
Sure.
But not everyone can sing well. That is my motto always. And in order to learn to sing well, you need to understand the anatomy, you need to understand the theory, you need to understand the application of that theory for your body, right? And that's obviously what I teach. I mean, the singers, if you've been in my class, you've sussed that with me, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, not to the point where on a one-to-one basis we can kind of suss it out for your body, but in general, if you understand how it works, you're going to know how to use it better. You know,
Fresh.
That's how it was for me. Like I also thought, hey, I can sing, I can rock anything, and then one day you have that wake up call where there's something you can't do.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Manje, senza njani makunje. Right. So I hope you guys are listening there in the chill area, smoking area, and the resource. Hey man, there's just more to singing. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's not overlook the black and white paper, but you really need to chill and understand the theory. So now, sir, the biggest question is, you are a performer,
Correct.
right? But you also opted for teaching the education. What motivated that decision?
Well, right in the beginning, when I was super young and getting started, obviously it was a money-related decision.
Fresh.
You know, so
Yeah.
because you didn't have as many gigs, and you were like, okay, what can I do to make some bucks? Here's my skill set, let me use it. But obviously, as you go along, you start enjoying it. I mean, I realized, and probably strangely through my mother, because my mother's also a teacher.
Yeah.
Not a music teacher, but a teacher nonetheless. And I realized that, you know, I had a passion for it. I really enjoyed it. Really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now, my facts here. Now, I'm not sure if they're quite clear. I remember blessing the station message saying 10 years and 4 years. But all in all you need to know is that you've been lecturing for 14 years.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. I'd like you to tell us how long you've been lecturing at Campus of Performing Arts.
This is year 10 for me at COPA.
Fresh. Yeah, no. There's a lot of guys that we're seeing around the campus whereby we're literally saying to them, you are the ancestor of COPA. But we have one lecture we can finally say, how? Close love, me ancestor.
Not only me. In
Yeah.
fact, Brother George has been here longer than me.
Yeah. Whoa.
He's the granddaddy.
He's the granddad. So yeah, man, this is stuff that you guys didn't know, and this is what the show is about, man. Getting to know the people, getting to know the artist, and today we're getting to know Mr. Andrew Buffett. You guys are still listening to the voice of reason right here at Campus of Performing Arts, JHB, man. Like I told you that we're riding this thing 180 kilometers speed per hour. So I hope you did fasten your safety belt, and I hope you guys are really listening, Buffett, because hey, trust, man. You guys have got no idea how difficult things could be. So I hope you're jotting down, Bafetu. Let's say this is a class in session. Yeah. You know. So tell us a bit more about your experiences and what kept you motivating to continue teaching music. It's 14 years, you know. I believe that like after 2 years or 3 years, you'd be like, hey, children, oh, I'm going to see Nevo again. Oh my goodness. Next year, who's next? You know, yeah.
You know what? It's like with any job.
Sure.
There's ups and downs with any job. But what keeps you motivated, strangely, is what you said now. Oh, next year, who's next? It's when you get those fresh minds and you can see, okay, who's in amongst this thing? And when you start getting results from those fresh minds, that's what keeps you motivated. So when when you've parted knowledge, and then all of a sudden they start using that, and then you're seeing the results in them, and they're actually starting to grow. That's what keeps you going.
Fresh. Now, Buffett, if you didn't know, right? I know most of the new guys might see this mastermind as a lecturer, but he's also a performer. You're a working artist.
That's right.
Basically. We'd like to find out about the jazz companies. A lot of people have been saying, hey, you know, on Facebook, I'm friends with Andrew, and Nomaranjan, he'll have an invitation. Check out the jazz company ad. So a lot of people are like, what's the jazz company? Can we drop our CVs? What's up? So,
no, you can't drop your CVs.
So can you please elaborate jazz company?
Jazz company started primarily as like a corporate band. So we would literally just get together, play a couple of jazz standards for a function or,
Cool.
or a wedding or something like that. And then after doing that for about 10 years, we we realized that like it had been the same guys for 10 years.
Whoa.
And we had been doing the same thing, and we were like, hold on, we have a unit here. We have a thing. So why don't we focus it a little bit better and start writing some music, start arranging some more specific kind of arrangements for standards and things like that. Make it a band.
Sure.
Because at that, I mean, it initially didn't start as, you know, in inverted commas, a band. It was more of just a slap together for a function.
Sure.
So but now it's kind of filtered into what we can now call a unit, a band. So we did a couple of arrangements and started playing them at the live gigs. There's even one or two original compositions that myself and the keyboard player did that we kind of filtered into the stylistic elements that Jazz Company was doing. And we started playing them at the live gigs. And then also we've realized, hey man, we've been doing this a long time. Let's have something to earmark it, you know, to kind of have something tangible that says, hey, this is what we've been doing, you know, evidence.
Evidence.
Yeah.
Baba.
So we went into studio, recorded the album. I see you got it on the desk here.
Yeah.
We recorded an album of the better arrangements that we had done and the original composition. And yeah, since then we've been trying to punt the album and do what we do with a few more extra arrangements and one or two extra original songs as well. So, I mean, we're out there doing the thing as Jazz Company, the band.
Jazz Company, the band. So, guys, I think that segment is out. Bafethu, please do not consider dropping CVs. It's not. It's a band. It's been made clear. But talking about that, a lot of us around the campus, you know, we get together, we're feeling each other's vibes. So, hey, man, you playing the bass, I play drums. Let's form a band. But we do not understand. I've seen bands in the mainstream industry that don't even survive 10 years, you know.
Sure.
But now what we'd like to find out is, since the Jazz Company as a band has started, what is the most important or vital thing that you can say, you see, yeah, this is what has kept us going. You know, because I believe that we all have our egos, you know. Being an artist comes with your own head, you know. You're like, I know this is my foot, I'm putting my foot down as a drummer, you know. How do you guys keep it together?
See, Jazz Company is an exception to most of these kind of situations because, like I said, we had just slapped it together, and then after like 10 years we realized that we were still together.
Yeah.
So it happened organically almost, you know.
Sure.
We realized that, oh wait, here's four guys that actually do get along because we've just been doing it. So for me, anyone starting a band, it's more about that camaraderie thing. You know, if you want it to be a specific unit, there has to be that camaraderie. It has to be whoever's in it, they need to get along. They need to be able to hang out.
Yeah.
Sorry, distracted by somebody outside the radio station. You gotta wait for me, girl.
Yeah, man. You guys are still listening to the voice of reason with Mr. Andrew, man. He's doing what he does best, man, taking care of students. Even when he's in a radio interview, the students are like, oh, where is this guy? Yes. So I hear you.
Press pause because we're going to edit it.
Sure.
Hold on.
Sorry. We understand the band now, and we understand the principalities that you've just shared, which are very, very, very true, you know? So now what we want to know is, now you as a performer, jazz band and Andrew outside the Jazz Company, what is your worst experience in the music industry as a performer? You know, I know in stagecraft, you used to tell us, oh, guys, before you go on stage, you know, take a deep breath, fart if you want to fart, just do anything to relax yourself, you know. But then for a master to master, he has to go through some stuff so that he can say, guys, I know what I'm talking about. So what is that worst experience?
Well, despite all the nervousness and all those things that you spoke about now, my worst experience as a gigging musician has to be New Year's Eve Millennium. So
Yeah.
New Year's Eve 1999. I got booked to play at a restaurant, but I got booked through this other pianist woman, and she got us together for a couple of rehearsals and gave us the repertoire that she wanted to play. We learnt it, and went through for the gig on the New Year's Eve. And as it turns out, the repertoire that she had chosen and that we had prepared was so not fitting to what
the vibe,
to the
to the
vibe
mood.
to the vibe of what was going on. Yeah.
Sure.
So halfway through the gig, we were supposed to play like from 8 o'clock till midnight.
Sure.
But like at 9:10, the owner came to us and said, "Cut it off. Cut it
It's
off.
not working."
Yeah, it's not working. Stop playing. Stop. Please,
Hey.
please stop." So turns out, yeah, we had to sit at the bar for the rest of the night. At midnight, we went up and we played Old Lang Syne, and everyone sang along and everything
Yeah.
was good. And then we, still waited. We couldn't pack up or do anything. We had to wait at the bar. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, once everyone had left, then a fight ensued between us and the
Oh.
well, more between her, the woman who had booked me,
Yeah.
and the owner. And it was a case of they didn't want to pay us, and
Hey,
because
now
yeah.
the vibes didn't work.
So my New Year's that year was not the most festive, shall we
Hey,
say?
And I remember, man, that time, Noma Ganjani, the world was like, we are grooving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was the big one.
Yeah, it was the big one. I remember my younger brother had just been born, so I was like, whoa, Singena fresh. Wow. And I'm going to ask you the same question, but now it's directed to you as being a lecturer. Because now I understand that students, we're different. You
Yeah.
have that guy that understands things better by looking. Others just listen. Others are just naturals. Others are slow. Others are fast. What's your worst experience as a lecturer in the music entertainment industry?
Sure, I can't even think of one really. I mean, there's good and bad times, but
Sure.
I can't even pinpoint one that's the worst as a lecturer. Nah.
All right. So now back to the good side of life. What's the best experience you've had as a performer and a lecturer in the scene?
Look, it's hard to even say that as well because there's really good moments all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's literally just a split second, a moment. But a big one for me that I'll never ever forget was when I was a teenager. I was in the Drakensberg Boys Choir, and we were on the field at the opening of the Rugby World Cup in 1995. It was the most insane feeling I've ever experienced in my life. The biggest crowd I've ever played to.
Sure.
And you're also standing like a few feet away from some of the best rugby players in the world, So it was a biggie. Another one was Jazz Company, in fact, played this gig for an event called the Grand White Dinner.
Sure.
The
It
grand-
sounds very posh.
It is quite posh. It's like an exclusive event that's
Sure.
that's very secretive. No one even knows where it is until the day of the event.
Wow.
So you buy a ticket and then you find out on the day where you need to go. But that was like our biggest gig. We played to about 3,000 people. It was insane. It was insane.
Yeah.
So we felt like rock stars even though we were playing jazz.
Jazz. Yeah, but no, it must come with a feeling. 3,000 people is
Hey,
quite
man.
a number.
Yeah.
It's
It's not as big as the World Cup thing,
Yeah, but
but it was our thing, so it was a
it was
big
quite
a big deal.
fresh ride.
Yeah.
All right. You know for a fact that besides your children, there's other children out there that are looking at you and being like, yeah, when I grow up one day, I just want to be like that guy. So what is it that you can say to that one kid that wants to be you in terms of performance, in terms of the knowledge that you have in this, like you are literally a true practitioner, of the game?
What I would actually say to them is, don't be me.
Oh, fresh.
I'd
So,
say-
guys, wait.
No,
I
I'll tell
know
you
a lot
why.
of people are disappointed in the resource center. Hi, guys, no. That title is taken. Don't wait.
No, the reason I say don't be me is because they need to be themselves, man.
Yeah.
Do you. Be the best person that you can be and be your own person. Because, I am me. And, everyone has their faults. Everyone has their good qualities, But
Yeah.
you need to bring out your own good qualities. But, in general, if you say, the guy who wants to be me, just keep going. Never stop learning.
Yeah.
Because I don't stop learning. In fact, I've learned so much here at COPA just by teaching here, you know, and from the students as well, you know, because there's new places every year and everyone brings something to the table that you can learn from. So you must never stop learning from your surroundings, from people you work with, etc., and just keep
going.
Keep going, but you know what it is, man. We're about to park this park and see my parking guy saying, yeah, 10 left. Yes, we're about to learn this drive, Bafetu, man. We've been riding it for 180 kilometers speed per hour. Now we're changing the gears, Bafetu. We're pushing at 10. We're about to stop it. We've been talking to the main man himself, the Drews, as I would call him, and many of you guys. So now, sir, because we received so many invitations for your performance, where can we get you? Manje, any upcoming gigs? And how do we get to interact with you on the social media?
Okay, well, upcoming gigs, 12th of June, it's a Sunday afternoon. We're at Willifant's Cafe. It's at the Big Red Barn in Irene.
Sure.
That's over lunch. It's actually quite a nice little venue where you can go and mountain bike and bungee jump and do that whole thing. It's like for a pleasant Sunday chilled vibe. And then 21st and 28th of June, we're at Catsy's in Rosebank. That's usually the invitation that everyone gets. That's a Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
There's no cover charge, so pull in, have a couple of drinks, some good jazz vibes. That's all I can think of for now. And in June, gigs coming up. But yeah, if you want to follow us on the social media, our website is jazzcompanysa.co.za. All our handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's all Jazz Company SA. So follow us, like us, tweet us, poke us, you know, do the whole thing.
Do the whole social media thing, Bafetu. Yeah, man, you guys heard it from the man himself, Bafetu. He is literally the master of vocals here. We are all relying on him to give us that knowledge, Bafetu. Without him, definitely those assignments, Bafetu, and practicals are a nightmare. Bafetu, it has been nice, man. You guys have been listening to the Voice of Reason. And today, Bafetu, our mastermind, Bafetu, the master of vocals around Campus of Performing Arts, JHB, Bafetu, Mr. Andrew Massey, Bafetu. I'm out, and I am sure the lecture is also out. So if you guys are listening in the resource center, Bafetu, if you've got classes, please make your way to the classes right now. Get up, Bafetu. It's been nice. Thank you very much for allowing your special time, allowing us to just dissect, DJ.
Thank you, Nibs.
Yeah.
And thanks, COPA Radio.
Yeah, man. JHB's where it's at, Bafetu. Till we meet again next time. Maybe tomorrow again, and maybe later on in the future. Let's keep in sight. I'm out.